Okay, so here we have my new arming sword. Much better cutting sword, much thicker blade, much more credit spot, but we're trying to take this bamboo. I aim for both these pieces of bamboo at the same time. And there you go. Much better at cutting. That's the first piece I hit, and I came down and whack. Second piece chipped a little more. The cut's still pretty smooth, but it did splinter. It's supple, but it's still kind of drying out kind of bamboo because it hasn't rained as much as I'd like this year. But still, it is my new arming sword. Okay, so as we look down here, we see we have this integrated belt system that I have all wound around. I'll show you in a minute. The scabbard itself, although it was facing the other way when I got it, I like the stitches out because I think they're decorative and look nice. So they're out. And at the end we have this open end chafe with the center cut out like many swords sometimes have. Again with the peen, a little bit better light. I can't quite get the focus there, but you can see pretty well done peen. And I got one scratch you can see right there on the finish, but it's kind of a darkened finish, and I like the kind of rough looking with some of these minor scratches. Has leather, you can get the texture on that, and woo, stitch work and the rather thick guard. I can't tell if they put any epoxy in the gap there. I can't see deep enough into it, but it looks like it's pretty well anchored there, even though it's a wide gap between the blade and the actual guard, but it's held well. And then we have the blade, which is very Norman-esque and much like a Viking sword in width and all, up until near the tip where it goes from a fairly wide fuller to the diamond cross section to a fairly acute point for a quick look at the scabbard. You can see the belt. There's actually integrated into the scabbard these loops and tie. Not the best job I've ever seen, but for a windlass, I don't know what this was because the blade and guard and pommel all seem to come from different swords. I've never seen a scabbard quite like this in their scabbards with this type of wide stitching. So I'm guessing it may have been a prototype or something. Here's the other end of the belt that comes out and around, that you would loop around, and once you have it in place and on you, it would hang at an angle like that in the scabbard. And if you look in the scabbard, well, it's kind of bright now with the light on, but you can see it's kind of a leather core there with the suede covering. So it's actually, the scale says pounds and ounces. Let's see if it will help us. I know it's in an odd place, odd spot with all my stuff around it. Set one sword on one scale and make sure nothing else is touching it. Good. Now what do we say? Looks like a 2 pound, 15.2 ounces. So just under the 3 pound mark on this sword. Right about there. Now, that is there. So how far out is there? We'll take our handy dandy pink ruler and we see it is a little less, actually from where my finger was, I would say it is right about 4 3/4 to 5 inches out. Say in the balance point. So that should help you a little bit. Lost Mayan skull. No, actually it's just my necklace. Hilson, folks. Well, that was my other sword. Not quite the same style as the other video, but who cares about style, right? Anyway, getting some videos up, getting my stuff moved, getting my apartment redone in July. Other than that, things are going, I guess, okay. Glad to be back. Hope all y'all are doing well. And good night, Ilson.